This is what happens. So time is of the essence. These can be used by one person. The downside of one is the noise. The downside of the other is now we have a wet, slippery environment that we may have to work out of that environment. So now we might be endangered to slip and fall in this area that we really need to be able to navigate well. So if you do use that water, I would aim it so you get the dog, but the water goes on one of those carpets up front. Okay? And people that are coming, your teammates, part of what you bring to the party here is blankets, boards, umbrellas. We probably don't need more umbrellas, but blankets, boards, hands. That's what you bring when you're coming from the back, okay? The other thing is, you're one person, you use this. What if it temporarily distracts the dog, but because you're one person and you're not well position, now the dogs are back together. So now again, you're working out of a wet area. Either didn't work, or and I've got a wet area, or I've got a dog who was distracted but now is back before my water bucket's empty and I still don't have my board and all these type of things. So there's so many things that you need to do at one time. I'm not telling you what the absolute right answer is. I'm telling you what your tools are and what you have permission to use, okay? And what the pros and cons and what to be prepared for. Our next tool is our umbrella. You guys know where that one's located. And where are the umbrellas? We've got 3 of them in here. Okay? 3 of you get an umbrella in your hand. Okay? So there's 3 ways to use an umbrella. The first one is, okay, cheaters. Dr. Wong's going to get it. Pop. Pop is the first one. Pop?
Okay.
Yeah, pop. Okay.
The dog said they open it in the direction.
Yeah. So here's what I want you to know. I want you to try opening those umbrellas. Okay. And now close the umbrella. Okay.
Oh, I see. I gotcha. Okay. So you're the dog.
I am the dog. That may not have occurred to you, but it will now occur to you that I am the dog. And if a dog is running at you, okay, you have to have some, you have to have some space. If you're in an exam room, you do not have that space. Again, this is already in your hand. You were pretty quick, but it was already in your hand. The tape was already off of it. You've got to have, so if you see them coming across a ways, maybe out in reception you could do that, but you got to know when that applies. And I don't want to see anybody fumbling with trying to get their umbrella open when that's not the right, they don't have the time to do that, okay? Number 2 is protect. So we have pop, protect. For protect, this is where you can use it, and it's going to be not in the pop fashion, but you're going to put it in the dog's mouth. So if the dog's coming at you, yeah, don't poke this at them. We're not stabbing.
So you're going to do the side.
Yeah, and you got to get some balance here. And you're going to try to stick this in my mouth, wherever my mouth goes.
Which one's your mouth? Okay.
I am very glad, Emma, that you asked and did not actually stick it in my mouth. Okay. Okay. All right. Good. So the dog can go high. It can go low. The dog can go anywhere it wants to go, and you have to get your umbrella there. Okay. Okay. Switch umbrellas.
I don't think so either.
Try popping them.
Oh no.
Okay. Good. Put them down. Okay. All right, now we're going to do this one. So if I touch you, okay. All right, good. So you got to be able to move with these things. All right. Now you 2 get to go first on the 3rd one, which is the pry. And for this, we have a little dental model. Can you set this up on the other chair there? Our teeth are broken out of our dental models because we've been practicing. You're the last group. And sometimes this gets rough in here. It goes right behind the canine. Now, you, of course, are not going to be able to lift up the tooth, the mouth and say, do I have this behind the canine? I'm showing you the principle of where this is, okay? And you're going to try it over here. In real life, the dog will have something in its mouth, and the mouth, you'll have a bigger space back here than it appears that you have right now, okay? And one person of your team is going to hold the jaw here with a little pressure on it so it doesn't fly off. The other will insert the umbrella, clear through, and then pry up, okay? So you guys can, teams of 2 can do that. Make sure everybody gets to pry.
So is the person holding prying up or the person with the umbrella prying?
The umbrella is the pry. The other is just helping that mouth be a dog. Does it have a point?
No.
Oh, yeah, you don't have, where'd that come from?
It was a front.
Okay, all right. Let's see, do we have another, there's another umbrella, Nicole. Yep. Uh-huh. No, you aren't breaking anything. It snaps in and snaps off. Did you feel a little pressure that you were prying against?
Yes.
Okay. And keep in mind, when you're prying, this one is hard. It's a big tip, and this dog doesn't have anything in its mouth yet. You want to keep your hands as far back here as you can, and you're going to pry up. Very good. Okay.
Thank you.
Next person. You guys have completed? Okay. Good. And you'll want to be off to the side here as much as you can. Yes, move the dog. Don't move you. This is why they have lost some teeth. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. So we've gone through the through ways to use this tool. Now we're going to go to our boards. Isn't this fun? Okay. Keep moving along here. Okay. So we have 3 boards. That's even better. I don't care. So we can have 3 boards. So the board is used to protect you. The board is used to protect your friends. Okay? This is a team sport. There will be other people there. If you have a board, you are protecting the other dog from this dog. You are protecting yourself, and you are protecting other people. So we have to be team-like and strategic in how we're using the boards. But first, we want you to be able to handle a board. If the dog comes at you, you have to be able
You're good.
you have to be able to lift the board wherever the dog's going to be. I don't know if I'm a dog that's going to come up. I don't know if I'm going to come around to the side. I don't know if I'm going to then be at your ankle. They could go wherever they want to go, and they're just going to twist and be unpredictable, okay? So the other thing is sometimes you won't hold the board that way. Sometimes you'll hold it the other way.
Like this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have 2 dogs that are down on the ground fighting a lot and you're having to try to block for another person to get a leg pull or an umbrella, and we're going to look at putting these skills together here in a minute, you have to be able to manipulate this board when this dog comes off of the bite. Very unpredictable. Do I want it high? Do I want it low? Is he coming around the side? So I'm not telling you which position to be in. I'm telling you you need to be able to move that board from one position to another and be in a pretty athletic stance because 80 pounds can come on that board at any minute. Okay? So, yeah. Yeah, okay, good. Good, switch boards. These aren't the best handles in that your hands are at risk in these handles. We are trying to see about getting some handles on the back that we could use it differently. I don't know. Casey's got some ideas. I don't know how successful we'll be. This is what we have right now, so this is what we have to use. So practice with what we have to use. And we're going to need a... Good. I haven't been able to tag her. That's good. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Can you switch that board to the other position, Destiny? Yeah. Now I want to see you get it from one position to the other. Okay? I'm going up. Okay? So it's important, I think, to keep one hand on one side and one on the other so that you can go from position to position. Try that. Nicole, did you get a board yet? Well, I don't want to. Oh. Okay. Okay. Good. Switch it to the other way. Yeah. Good. Good. Okay. Good.
I got her tired now.
That's all I need. Okay. All right. So now we've used all our tools. Okay. And now we're going to put this together. When we put it together, it gets complex. Okay. Again, if you think of the reception area, we may have somebody paying a bill. We may have somebody who just came in. We may have somebody who's waiting. They should be in the exam room, but they're out wandering around instead. Sound familiar? Okay. And so we may have people other than the two owners that are associated with these dogs. I don't know how many people we have up there. All the people need to get to safety. All the pets need to get to safety that aren't involved in this. Okay? The owner of the dog being attacked, if you can tell who that is, and you may not be able to tell at all times. There may be an equal opportunity experience here, but if one of these dogs is getting mauled, obviously, the 10-pound white poodle, okay, by the larger dog, that owner is going to want to be pulling that dog out of that shepherd's mouth. And that owner needs immediate care too. So immediately we have to break up the fight. Immediately we have to get the owner out of there. Okay? How do we do all these things? Well, yell rain, reception, or scream, do something. If you can't remember the words, do something. Rain reception will tell your people in the back exactly what's going on and exactly what you need. Okay? They know what to bring and they know who to send. Okay? If you scream and yell something else, let's hope they understand to go up front. I know at Highland, if we hear barking escalating in the lobby, we will have 3 people up there if you don't yell something. You'll have more if you do, because we know that escalated barking can be the only sign we get before we get to this other situation. Okay, so respond to the noises that you hear in the hospital. I know that some people accept that veterinary hospitals are noisy and barky places. I've really never accepted that. So I do expect that my patients are in a calm state while they're here. If they're escalating, they need to be separated out anyhow. So use your rooms, separate things out as much as you can. We do not want our waiting area necessarily to be an area where dogs are collecting. That's a bad thing. Okay. So you yell rain reception and you decide to use the air horn, okay? You use the air horn, it doesn't work. What do you do next?
Water.
Pardon me?
Water, maybe?
You could use water, yep, okay. You were up there by yourself. Now Destiny's come because she heard your yell. We still have an owner that's screaming and putting their hands in the biting dog's mouth, and we have a little white dog in her big red spot on the floor. What are we going to do?
Stick the dog to face it your way and then have someone board in front of you.
So yes, we can try to get these dogs apart. One, I want you to try to, as soon as you get a second person up there, I want you to try to get the owner out. And you need to make a statement to the owner in a loud voice because there's a lot of barking and screaming going on, okay? You need to make a loud statement that says, "Sir" or "Madame," okay? We need you to leave Fluffy right here. We are going to take care of this. By pulling Fluffy, you are endangering her life even more. Please allow us to take care of this. And you probably need to physically, you can't push, you can't shove, but you can put your hands on and guide with confidence, okay? It may not work because you haven't shown them that you are doing something to save Fluffy, okay? If they won't go, then you see blood from an owner, you just press the 911 button. Okay? Some of these owners will be down on the floor. In one of my experiences, the 80-year-old man brought in a big shepherd. that all of us knew was aggressive, but this guy just did not get that his dog was aggressive. It was supposed to have a muzzle on him when it came in the building, but he just thought he'd bring it in. You know, it shouldn't have happened. It did, but the dog went after somebody, and in doing so entangled him in the leash. He was wiped out and injured and on the floor, and the dog was attacking the receptionist. Okay, that's what happened in that one. It wasn't a dog on dog, it was a dog on person. Okay, so you 911. People are involved, 911. If we get all the people out of there, we're not pressing 911 just yet, because we are the 911 for the vets. Okay. All right. Then so if we're trying, so if we've got enough people there and we're trying at either an umbrella pull or a leg pull, this is how we do it. I'm going to practice doing this part. Resusci-Doggy is having its starring role in this video. And next week we're going to resuscitate the dog, or next month we resuscitate the dog. This day he gets injured. Okay.
Leads to needing resuscitation.
That's exactly correct. Okay. So this is the victim dog. I am the aggressor dog. and if you're doing an umbrella pry, this is your target now. Okay? This is your target. You'll know when I start my attack. Okay? So, when I start my attack, let's say we're doing this slow time now. Woof, 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 woof. Okay, I'm starting my attack. You need a board over here. For an umbrella pry, the board should be at the side. Right. Now, hopefully you got a friend with an umbrella. And I would come over it. This is the advantage of having it down, is that two people can fit behind it. And now you're going to try to aim for the mouth. And you're going to pry as best you can. I don't have anything in his mouth. Sorry, and you've got the big umbrella. Pry the other. Yeah, you got to pry that way, I guess. Okay? Yeah. Okay? Now, when the dog's mouth is off of this, he probably will transfer on to this. Yeah. You have to be ready. This board needs to be able to go. So if it's sitting on the floor, there's no sitting around. I know we're just slow-mo, so you're sitting around, but this dog comes out. I don't know where it's going, but often they transfer on to somebody. Okay. My bites are from transferring on to me when I got them off of somebody else. Okay? So, you got to be ready for that. Okay? Now, so if we do that and the dog is up now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with me? Yeah, no, you can get a dog in a corner. Okay. We have to isolate this dog. Okay. We're not going to squash him in a corner, but we're going to get him so he can't do too much else. Okay. You can open one of your team members may open an exam room door, and you may just get him in there so you can shut the door, or maybe have him in a corner of the reception area. All those are very acceptable things to do. And what you also want to do is to try to we got to get a board in between, because if you allow me a path back to this dog, I'm going to go back to this dog. I'm paying attention to you, but if I see that dog laying there out of my eye, I'm like, oh, I'm back on this dog. Yeah. And we didn't make any headway there. This is where two boards come in. You're going to hope that by this time you had a second team member that came. And when the second I came off onto this board, yeah, now you got to watch yourself a little bit, because this dog may not always be a victim. So ideally you want to get yourselves so that the dog is on this side, you're on this side, your dog is on that side, and you're on this side, my side. Okay. Now if you look at that setup, nope, you're on my side. You're on my side. Right here, you're right here.
Oh, I'm like right here.
Okay, and Nicole's right here. Okay, one dog is here, one dog is there. Okay. Now, we have no dogs that can get at people, okay? Now, if you've got that there and that truly is a victim dog, then your staff is going to come and take this dog and whisk it away. If it's still being aggressive, and it may be, I know I'm playing this like this dog isn't responsive, but it could be extremely painful, it could be extremely out of its head with reactivity, and it may not respond like you think it's going to respond. It may have been playing dead while the dog was at it, and it's going to come up just out of its head. Okay? You don't know what this dog is going to do. When we pick up this dog, we should be picking it up like we'd pick up a dog that's at the side of the road that's been hit by a car. Okay? We're not just going to grab it with our hands. Okay? That's not what we're going to do. We're going to have one of those nice big blankets. We're going to get it buffered. We're going to be careful how we move it, but we're going to protect ourselves.
Should we muzzle?
If you think you can, I would probably, it depends on the size of the dog. If it was this size, I would probably be getting one of our big blankets around it. But if it's a German Shepherd that's snapping at me, I probably will try that. And I'll probably keep my board in place. So this is all you're thinking about. I'm thinking about how do I get this dog away from people and this other dog and get it somewhere isolated. Lot to think about while you're battling a dog.
How do you get clients who are like scared and want to run out the door to make them not open the door? Like, you know, so the dog doesn't run out.
Well, if you've put them in a room, they'll feel safe. If you've given them direction, they'll feel safe. If you haven't, they're not going to feel safe. You can make a one-time statement that says, go to the scratching post and point to it. Get in the scratching post. You can do it while you're running to get your board. Okay? But you got to think ahead what you're going to say and how you're going to do it. Okay, now we're going to try this again with the leg pull. So boards go back. Okay, for a leg pull, I'm a dog. Ruff, ruff, ruff. The leg pull, you're going to have the board person in the back. Good job, Destiny. Okay. And you're actually going to, if I was a dog, my anatomy would be just a little different. I would try to snug this board up here, and then you're up just a little bit. I don't know whether you want it this way or the other way, but you've got to get it up off the floor just a little bit. So somebody, where's your leg puller? So your leg puller can get the leg and pull. Okay, you got that pulled up? Okay, now, so now I got my attention, and I'm coming for you. Oh, now I'm back at the dog. Okay, now do you see how that works?
Okay. Got it.
Okay, all right, now that we've run through those things, now get the boards in different people's hands. And we're going to try this a little bit more up to speed, and I'm not going to tell you what you're doing, okay? We're going to know who's the receptionist, who would like to be you're the receptionist, because I saw that you really wanted to be. So you're in charge of calling rain reception and getting things going. The rest of you go stand by the door. When you hear a call, you can come. You can bring one of those big blankets on your way if you're thinking. Okay. Oh, everybody forgot the owner, but go ahead. Try it again. Let me see. Let me make an owner for you. No, I am the dog.
Okay, so where's the owner?
I'll be the owner again.
Yep, let's have one of you be the owner. You need them?
Am I your owner or this one?
Now you know what those noises are, Casey.
You're the tech. Which owner is she? She's the owner of that dog's owner?
This is the owner of this dog. The other owner is kind of a wild card, guys. It may be that owner is helpful. Maybe that they've got a collar and they are trying to get their dog away. Pulling on the aggressor dog is not necessarily a bad thing, as long as you keep your hands out of it. If they got their hands in there, they got to get their hands out. I want them to know for the record they were told to get their hands off before they have a bloody hand that has damage that they don't want, and they're looking at us, okay? Get the hands out of there.
So what's the proper wording that we would use to the owner exactly that's going to help the most?
I would say, please remove your hands. Your hand is at danger, and you are not helping your dog. We will help this situation. Okay, and you have to say it with confidence, even though you don't know if you're going to be able to help this situation, because quite frankly, nobody knows if they're going to be able to help. Okay? I do think that our team can do it more safely than what they're doing it. Okay? All right, so this is the owner. So, hey, I try try a different method. Try the legs. Try the legs. You're not making progress. The time is too far. Try the legs. There we go. All right. All right. That was better. We almost got a second board in there. Okay, guys. How do you feel?
I like chemical respiration.
I don't like you as much anymore.
Well, what's your assessment of how our team did and what we need to work on and what we learned?
Dr. Juan did a great job at yelling at me. I felt a little scared and I went in my room.
Good job. All right. It took a stern voice, didn't it? Telling you exactly what you were supposed to do. Good. We need that. For you guys that are shy, that's a great example of what will motivate, because you're a little bit shy up there. Not quite Dr. Wong yet.
I'm not shy either.
I'm actually shy, except when I have something to do. Otherwise, I prefer not to talk.
But you can deliver a clear message to people, and that's exactly what is needed. Yeah. You have to believe the message. You have to deliver the message. Okay, good. Anything else that you learned?
That it's really hard to get the dog off the other dog.
It is hard.
Because one is you moving so much, but I think like when it's an actual situation, you kind of know where the two dogs are. And
Every situation is going to be a little bit different. I mean, we could have a situation where the dog that was on top now is on the bottom, and it changed, it flip-flopped that quickly. You don't know what's going to happen in a fight. You've got to assess it and see what your opportunities are. Okay?
It might be good to have one person who's like keeping the owners like that's their main job, is keeping the owners away and like.
I agree. I just don't know how many people we're going to have.
True. Yeah. People just don't want to listen, and they're gonna want to help. And
Yes.
Yelling one thing at them might not be enough.
That's right. I agree 100%. And I think, if you look how it's written through, one person is kind of in charge of making sure all the people make it safely. But we can't do that and not address the dogs.
Yeah.
So depending on how, if you're the next person up and you see that those people, somebody's yelled at them, but you got two dogs fighting and the people are still gathered around, if you're the next person through the door, okay, I'm getting these people out of here. You've got to be able to walk through that door and assess what hasn't been done yet and what can be done and get yourself doing it. And there's no way to predict exactly what that's going to be.
Yeah, sneeze.
I also think the back legs will work easiest than the prying the mouth open. Like that's going to be really, really hard if dogs are just flailing.
That's right. Now, if you've got a dog that's really still, maybe it is going to work. And some of these do get in a hold and are kind of still. But some of them are flippy-floppy. So that's where you've got two things to try. Don't get stuck on one of them, was my point. Don't get stuck on one of them. If it's not working, tell your team you're changing. The team has to continue to communicate. When I come through that door and I'm the new person, if Nicole knows that these people are bothering everybody, she can say, please help the people, in case that person can't immediately assess. We're changing to a leg pull, and grab your person with you, because you can't do anything alone. You got to protect all the people. So announce what we're doing so we can all be on board.
You don't want to only grab a leg on a pit bull that's locked down on either a pet or someone else's arm. You might need that umbrella to get that jaw off that other person or dog.
I do have a question. So say like the dogs are attacking each other, but the owners both have like the leash in hand. Is that a good tool, do you think, of taking that dog's leash and like the board and grabbing the dog that way, or?
I think the owner can pull the dog toward them if they want.
Okay.
Again, if it's an aggressor being pulled toward, if it's a victim being pulled away, that aggressor is going to tear it up. That looks like their victim's getting away, and they go harder and stronger, which is what you have to know in your bones when you tell that owner, please step away, you're hurting yourself, you're putting your dog at greater risk and yourself. We will take care of this. So that's where I don't know how to answer that. If there's a clear aggressor and the guy's got, or guy or woman or whoever, has any control of it, yeah, they can pull it away and direct it towards them. But I don't know whether it's going to go on them or not, but I know that you guys are going to be protected. Okay? So if you have that leash, you're safer using the board than you are the leash, because we don't know what this dog is going to do. This dog is entirely unpredictable at this time. And many dogs are hyped up enough that they cannot just settle down after this. They don't get pulled off and go, okay, I'm sitting now, thanks. They are hyped, and they have sympathetic hormones going all over their body, and they are going to grab onto something else. That's why we need to be protected while we're in this scene. Okay? Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. When we're like doing the leg pull, what is the outcome? Like, are we trying to pull him into a room? Are we trying to?
You're trying to get him to disengage from the bite.
Okay, and then just that disengage is what you need to put the board between him and the dog.
Yes.
Not like jumping on it like an
And this is why it takes two, because if the dog came at your board, you probably couldn't get your board in between the two dogs. You had to protect yourself. So when I came off, I'm here, but the dog is now unprotected, and this dog can still go back to this dog. You have to get the second board in there.
That's why if you hear this call, you can't assume someone else is going to help. You have to go. Like, you can't just think that, oh, there's 4 people up there, because you don't know that what's going on. So
Could the rabies pole be of any use? Like at the end, if the dog, we've got it cornered and it's just freaking out everywhere, like could that be a good tool, do you think?
It may be.
Okay.
Maybe. I think we have enough doors that we probably, if we open a door, we can get a dog into it.
Okay.
I mean, this should kind of be like a lost, now we have a loose pet, okay?
Yeah.
So think of it in loose pet terms, a loose aggressive pet, but we have a loose pet. It's no longer engaged with the other dog, now it's a loose aggressive pet. So how do we use these tools to get this dog into an area? In its what I want it to be is in a room by itself with the door shut. That is the best option while we regroup, talk with the owner, see if the owner's injured or not. Just let this dog chill down. He shouldn't be able to hurt too much in our exam room. Okay? Anything in there can be replaced. Okay? Good. All right, well, this has been fun, hasn't it? This is the most fun it will be.